Good morning and welcome to my first P3Dv4 recording. So, this is a British Airways flight. We're going to be running from London Heathrow to LDZA, which is, I've just completely forgotten it, Zagreb, which is Croatia, I think. Let me just double check. Yes, Croatia. Thought so. So we are fueled up. Everything is set up inside. APU is on. Everything here is looking good. So all we need to do now is get ourselves ready to go. Flight plan for today, it's a 2-hour flight, not that one, that's not the one I'm interested in. Oh yes it is, so 200 minutes? Yes, 2 hour 20, that's exactly what it should be. So we just need to get this set to 6,000. There we go. Speed and heading all set, yes. So we are looking good at the moment. So what we'll do then, we will get GSX to push us back. There we go. Ooh. You know what? I don't know which way we need to go. That's very, very true. We are going 09 right, so tail to the left is better. We'll start the engines during pushback. As I said, I have got the APU on. I will put the beacon on in a second once we actually start moving backwards. Won't need any taxi lights because it's a lovely day, nice and bright. What I should do, disconnect the APU power, there we go. Now I just need to check something a second. Okay. Let's go and get the parking brakes turned off. Great news. Okay, so put the beacon on. Engine to starter. And engine 1. Why can I not put the engine 1 on? There we go, got it. Whew, that was hard work. I'm not that familiar with how to move the buttons in here. This is actually the first time I'm flying this properly. So we're just keeping an eye on the engine stats we've got here. Okay, parking brakes coming on. Okay, so engine 1 is now ready. Engine 2 coming on. And we do still need to set the trim. I haven't done that yet. Oh, it's a strange place. They don't normally stand in front. Just wait for engine 2 to finish warming up. Because this flight is a long flight, I'm not going to time lapse it like I normally would. Instead, what I'm going to do is I think I will just jump cut. If there's some nice scenery to look at, then maybe I'll time lapse it, but otherwise I'll jump cut it, because it'll be a very long cruise that you'll be watching otherwise. It just gets a bit boring for a video, I think. There we go, so that's engine 2 on. Now, close these down. There we go. We need to set our pitch. Should be 0.7 down. There we go. Perfect. Now let's do a little flight control check. So, full left, full right, full up, full down, full left rudder, full right rudder. Perfect. Looks good. So as I said, we don't need the taxi lights on, not today. So I think we are now good to begin our taxi. Let's release those parking brakes and get ourselves moving. We're 9 right, so we're going to have a very long taxi. In fact, we're going to have to taxi to the left and all the way down to the opposite end of the runway, because we are fairly heavy today. So we need 154 is our V1, V2 and VR. All of them have the same speed, the same value today. So because of that, yeah, it's going to be we need the full length of the taxi. But you can see we are now getting our messages. That is something I should have done already. Seatbelt signs should definitely be on. No smoking signs should be on as well. And those are on armed. Perfect. Now that is just a little bit too quick, I think. Yes. I remember that I had this problem before. So we are taxiing again. We need to arm the spoilers. There we go. Flaps need to go to 2. Oh. There we go. and take off config. Test, no. There we go. Oops. So the predicted weather system is off. Yes, we know that at the moment. That's fine. Oh, this is 09 left. Oh. I'm on the wrong runway. I'm on the wrong side of the runway of the airport. Fantastic news. Right. I will go and get onto the other side of the runway and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I am on the right side now. We are just getting ourselves onto the runway. So now would be the time for some landing lights, some strobe lights, also for us to maybe stay on the runway. There we go. Runway turn off. There we go. Of course, normally this would not be done by just one person, and that's why we would not be so far off track. There we go. While we're doing that, let's put the TCAS. There we go. TCAS is on to full. And we just need to line ourselves up a bit. Okay. I've forgotten what my key for parking brakes is, apparently. What else do we need to do? The weather system, yes. So switch this to manual. System 1, we want WX and T, yes. Auto. Proximity warning system on. And we will go to about 10 degrees, because that's what we'll be doing when we take off. There we go. We are on 10 at the moment, that should be fine. So, looks like we're ready. Let's get the engine spooling. Release the brakes. And that's it, that's toga. So we need 154 of speed. It's 120. 140. That's V1, VR, V2. Climb up to 20 degrees. That was a pretty smooth takeoff, I have to say. So I didn't check the London Heathrow abatement procedure. Going to turn. Our thrust reduction altitude is apparently 3,500 feet. What do we do? Here. There we go. Okay. So, leave a climb.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you a chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
We need to put the autopilot on, of course. As I said, I am not that familiar with how to fly this plane. As you can tell already. Okay, so I finally managed to work out how to get that onto nav mode. Took a lot of effort, I'll be honest. We're currently just flying along nicely. Once we get to det, we will be able to climb again. But for now, we're okay. Looks very nice out here, doesn't it? Look at that. Yeah, lovely. P3D is much nicer than FSX, that is for sure. Oh, we've got a little bit of cloud cover coming up. Very nice. Right, back inside. Almost at det, which means we can dial in our next altitude, which is 230. But we have an altitude constraint. Good. As soon as we've done that, we will also need to push the heading. Push the heading? Push the altimeter to reset it, and we will start our climb. Not sure what we'll set the weather system to yet. We will set it to something, but I'll see what rate we start climbing, really. Yeah, I'm impressed so far. I think I loaded P3D up when I got it, and that was about it. So this is very nice. This is exactly what I was expecting, what I wanted. Okay. Pull to standardise, there we go. And pull to standardise on here. And on here. Great. So once we've passed 10,000 feet, I'll turn off the landing lights and we'll just continue climbing. And like I said, it will depend on how cloudy it is, what it looks like. I might put a bit of a time lapse in, but I definitely won't time lapse the entire cruise. That would be a little bit ridiculous. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. For now, everything's looking good, which is a good sign. Oh yeah, and at 10,000 feet I'll also turn off the seatbelt signs. I could do it now, but I'll wait a bit. Because we are almost there now, anyway. There we go, 10,000 feet. So, landing lights off, runway turn lights off, strobes can remain on, seatbelt signs off. So, the plane's just leveled off a little bit so we can build up some speed, and then we'll start climbing again. I think we'll probably be climbing around 8 to 10 degrees for most of this climb. It's not a very high flight level we're going to be travelling on, flight level 230, yeah, it's not too high. But anyway, we will see. And I will see you closer to the descent. So, hello everyone. We are currently flying over this lovely mountainous region. Now, I didn't think this was the Alps, but I might be completely wrong. You can see we've got 66 nautical miles until Loomis, and then our descent is only about 10 nautical miles after that. So it is time to start prepping. First things first, let's have a look in here. Enter destination data. Yes, I'm aware of destination data, don't worry. So, it looks like we've got nothing on our way. That seems strange. I'm sure we put a star in. We did. Lula 1A. Okay. Let me just load up the map. No, okay, so Lula 1A is just straight from Lulad to PIS. Okay. Right. So, let's get on with some performance planning. Let's go to the approach So we are currently not sure of what the weather is. Let's have a look at the map. Oops. You can probably hear some noisy background noise. That is because my cats have decided to wake up just now. Okay, I am not sure where we should be going. Somewhere around here. LDZA, there we go. Current conditions, 2013, calm wind, temperature 14, dew point 4. I think I might have accidentally run this with summertime or springtime as the weather, which is why we're getting very good weather at this time. So 14, 2013, 1013 even. Let's have a look. So 1013, oops. 1013. Temperature of 14. Winds, we'll put 0, 0 for now. We will tune ATIS when we get closer. Decision height. Decision height is 100 for Cat 2. So we'll put 100 in. We could be Cat 3. We'll put 100 in for now. Transition flight level. Yes, that is exactly right. So retraction speeds. 134 is our target speed. How far do we have to go now? Time is currently 38. So in 7 minutes we'll be at the top of descent. There we go. I couldn't get the weather radar working, so we will actually just put it onto water. If it decides to pick something up, then great, go for it. Otherwise, forget about it. We will set the traffic to below. There we go. And everything else is okay. We are going to have a very, very quick descent. Because it's by Lulad, we were expecting to be, I think it said 6,000, but we are not cruising that high. I am going to put terrain on HD, hopefully that works. There we go. So we can see maximum at the moment is 100, minimum 4,900. Sorry, I'll say that again in real numbers. 10,000 feet, 4,900 feet. And that's obviously because we've got this mountainous region which is showing up here. I'm going to turn the brightness down on that. There we go. So we can see our waypoints a little bit easier. I did set up the radios. So we have got 2 ADF frequencies. Those are for the 2 ends of the runway. There are 2 ADFs. And this is the localizer frequency. No, it's not, sorry. This is the NDB at the airport. That's the localizer frequency there. So we're almost there. We may even, if I check, we might even be able to pick up the airport now. No. Still too far away. Okay. Well, not far now. So I think this would probably be a good time to actually say what I think about the sim. This is the first time I've used it, P3D. properly, that is. When I got it and I got the FSLabs, I just messed around a little bit, but I didn't do much. I think I just did a manual takeoff and that was it. I am very impressed with P3D itself. It is much, much better in terms of graphics. I have got graphics on very high. Why can't I do that? There we go. Frames per second is a little bit low, but I have got everything on max. So it's not to be unexpected, but it's running smoothly, perfectly smoothly. No issue with that at all. And I'm not having the same issue I have in X-Plane, which is that I quite often find frame rate drop causes me to run slowly. I ran a flight from Manchester to Keflavik, previous video which I posted. That flight was 4 hours long when it was only meant to be 2.5. That was just because the frame rate was so low, it was causing the simulator to slow down time to keep up with it. Obviously that's not a good thing to do. I'm just going to bring this back a level. There we go. So we do have quite a long distance between Loomis and Lulud even. But we're going to have to still be on quite a rapid descent. Yes, that's my thoughts about P3D. FSLabs. I love the model in terms of the complexity of it. What I don't love is the graphics of the actual model. I don't know if that's my system and there's something I need to change, but this just isn't what I expected. I have the Flight Factor A320 in X-Plane 11, and the graphics are absolutely stunning, incredible. But here, I don't know, it just doesn't seem the same. That doesn't mean it's bad. I think it's worth the money for the complexity, but yeah, it's. I was expecting something better. And there is something I've noticed in P3D as well, which is this looks absolutely stunning from in here. Absolutely amazing. Looking out over the mountainous region. When I go to the outside view, yeah, it looks good, but not as good. It looks better from inside the cockpit, which is just a little bit strange, I think. Maybe that's just me though. I don't know. But anyway, switch this one here to an outside view now, because we're going to be in the cockpit for the rest of this flight. You can see we're coming up to Loomis now, so we will set, oops, I'm on the wrong screen. We will just set our altitude to 3,000. But I will not push it just yet. Very soon, very, very soon. In fact, we've got a 10-mile setup on here, so you can see that we've got, you can see as we approach it, which is good. However, I am going to press early. So there we go. We're now in descent mode. I won't put the passenger signs on yet, they don't need it. But yeah, start our descent. You can see the little mark over here that's showing us that that's when we should start kind of catching up with where we were meant to. No, sorry, that's the mark where we'll be on the same level as where we would have been had we pushed descent here. So we're not far below the path. You can see this a bit better here. Vertical deviation, we're currently 500 feet below and dropping. Now I've just realised I turned the sound up when I was flying on my own, just because I wanted to be able to hear the plane. But now I'm back with recording, I should turn it down. So yeah, we're below our target at the moment, but that's fine, it just means we have a bit more time to descend. I watched some absolutely amazing videos about the flight factor and explained some parts about open descent and normal descent. You can see here we've got these two purple bars. What the plane will do in descent mode is try and keep the speed between those two purple bars. So using idle thrust and varying the descent rate, or if you're doing climb, it will vary the climb rate. What you can do in open descent is it essentially removes the bars, which means I could put spoilers out to slow down, which would start to put the engines on. Whereas in here, if I was to put the spoilers out, it would increase the rate of descent so that we could descend faster at the same speed, or within the bars we have here. Which I thought was a really great explanation. I've probably not done it justice, but yeah, I thought it was a really nice way of explaining it. Now, so we are less than 80 miles to the airport. Can we now pick up the airport list? No, still nothing. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. I think we'll just time-lapse through this descent because there's not much else to do. We are set up. Once we get to our deceleration point, which is difficult to see because there's so many purples around here, but there's a deceleration point in there. If I was to press the activate approach button earlier than that, then it would activate the approach and slow us down. Otherwise, we will slow down when we get to that point. But for now, yeah, we'll just time-lapse down to our approach. See you in a minute. Okay, so we are getting a lot closer now. You can see we are within 20 nautical miles of the runway, and I checked the ATC a few times to see when we were getting closer to requesting information, and I did manage to actually connect, so we now have our landing clearance, which is great. Next thing to do, seatbelt signs on, yes, thank you. And we are still descending.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing.
7.8 nautical
Please
miles.
ensure your cabin bag is safely
So what I'm
stowed
going
with your
to
laptop
do, because we
inside.
need to get down
Your tray
quite
table
quickly
must be
here.
stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no
Just
longer
going to pull
in
the speed
service.
brakes. That's a bit of an issue there, trying to get them out. So you can see if I zoom in here, speed brakes are now out. So what that means is because our speed's dropping, we can descend quicker, which is good for us. Because once we decelerate, at this point here, it's going to become quite difficult for us to actually descend, because we'll have to try and descend at a rate which, yeah, it's just makes it more difficult to manage. We'll be trying to descend at a slow speed, while we're also trying to reduce our speed because we have that VLS target, so it's just better to try and get down a little bit quicker. You see, we're only 5 nautical miles from it at the moment, and we've still got 1,300 feet or so to drop. It's looking beautiful out here today.
Cabin crew seats for landing, please.
I'm going to put the landing system on now. I'm not going to turn the localizer on just yet. The engines have come up, so there we go. So speed brakes are now back in, but we're almost down to our target altitude anyway, so that's fine. There we go. So we've hit the deceleration point, which is good because we are now very close. Put the localizer on. We'll probably capture it when we're about halfway around that corner, I expect. Maybe a little bit before. And we are dropping speed very nicely here. Capture a localizer anytime soon. I'm not sure which of my keys does it. Let's check. There we go. That's flaps 1. Right, localizer is captured. Perfect. Approach for the glide slope, and autopilot 2 on. Now put our second set of flaps out. We have not yet caught the glide slope. We are currently just slightly above. There we go, there's the runway. Just coming in now. Lovely. So, we are perfectly on target. Not sure why that button doesn't turn off. Seems a bit weird. Okay, flaps to 3 and landing gear down. There we go. Just zoom in here. Once those gear are down, we'll put the flaps down to 4. Yeah, perfect. Flaps to full. So, landing gear down, signs on, spoilers, we need to arm. There we go, spoilers armed, perfect. And we're coming in very nicely at the moment. Perfectly on track with the ILS. Minimums we set to 100, sorry. We are a Cat 3, so we could have done 50, but it's okay. The weather today is clear, so Cat 3 is obviously completely possible. And we just had landing clearance. Close that down. And you notice I just changed this to the LS mode as well, so we can keep an eye on it. What's that about? He says we're in ignition. No, we're not. We're in normal mode. Don't know why he's saying that. You can see over here, we've got some sort of mountainous regions. It's really nice. So it looks like the terminal is on the right. I will load up the terminal chart while I'm waiting. Still on track at the moment. Now, I've just checked the building. Parking, stand number 3 to 5. Okay. I believe that will be the east apron. Here we are. Flare and heater. Get reverse thrust. And disengage the autopilots while we're doing that. We want to take that far exit, so that's why I'm not too concerned about rolling out all the way down to the end, but we will now kill the reverse thrust. Slow ourselves to an almost stop. Acknowledge ground, yes. And we will no longer use the ATC. What I will do is tell GSX where we're going to go. Oh, apparently we have to go to gate G. Request follow me? No. That's fine. So gate G is at the terminal. So actually we have to go the long way round. But what we also need to do is get these off, get this off, and start the APU. We also need to turn, that would be useful. is ready. Let's turn it on. Have to check our wheels after and see how we're doing. Our brakes. We are really off centre. Also give just a little bit of engine power. A little bit of the throttle, get the thrust up just slightly. And how's the APU? That's not going to show the APU, that's the outside view. APU is almost available. There we go, available now. We'll put the APU bleed on. Interesting. APU bleed does not want to come on. Oh, our brakes are fine actually. I was a bit worried they were hot. They seem to be not too bad at all. We do still have a warning about autopilot. Yes, so get those in. Get the flaps in as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pockets,
on the left
underneath
here,
the seat and in the overhead lockers.
should be.
Do take care when opening the lockers in
we
case
are
anything
interested
falls out. Smoking
However,
is
there
not
are no
permitted
terminals.
until you reach a designated smoking
Okay,
area.
I know exactly what this
On
problem
behalf
is.
of the captain and the crew,
This
it
is
has
to
been
do
our
with the
pleasure
order
to
I
have you
have
today.
things loaded, I
Our ground
think.
crew will help you complete your journey.
So, we need to be over there where we see those people. Because we are the only ones landing here. I don't know why. I seem to have zero traffic at all. I think I need to have a look at why I've got none. Seems a little bit strange. But you can see this is our stand, the one with the guys all waiting for us. So I believe should be slowing down here and making our turn. We are miles off centre. Oh, he's telling me to go to the right slightly. There we go. I think that's the brakes. That is the brakes. I finally found what the brakes are. Right, let's close that window. And we'll get the engines shut down. Brake temperatures, 70 degrees, that's absolutely fine. A bit too short and a bit too far to the left. Okay, well, let's just double check. APU, there is bleed. Why are we not taking the bleed? I know there is a new version available of both FSLabs and P3D, so it could be that I just don't have it set up. But it looks like we now have bleed. That seems to be connected. Yes, APU bleed. Just it's not showing, which is odd. But anyway, there we go, we've landed. I was only slightly off. That's pretty good, I reckon, for me at least. But that was a lovely flight. My first, obviously, with P3D. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.